Good afternoon, everyone. This is Miss Courtney, and this is our distance learning series. This is grade 4. And today we have got webinar number 4. Let's go. So the first thing we need to do is open up our notebooks as always and take out a pen or pencil, and please write down today's date. What's today's date? Please write it now. Okay. Today is Thursday, the 9th of April, 2020. Now I have a second special question for you. What day was yesterday? So, we already wrote down today's date. Now, I want you to write down yesterday's date. What day was yesterday? Okay, if you wrote down that yesterday was Wednesday, the 8th of April, 2020, you were correct. Now, please look at the slide. Pay close attention to the word was in red. What do you think our lesson could be about today? Why do you think I asked you to write down yesterday's date? The reason is because today's lesson is about was, were, and wasn't, weren't. Now, can anyone tell me, in what time do we use was and were and wasn't, weren't? Let's see if you can get this. Okay, if you answered in the past, you're correct. Let's go. The goals for today's webinar are to learn about when to use was and were, to learn about when to use wasn't and weren't, to understand that was not and wasn't are the same, to understand that were not and weren't are also the same, and most importantly of all, to be able to use was, wasn't, were, and weren't in written and spoken language at the end of this webinar. By the end of today, I hope that you'll be able to use was, were, wasn't, and weren't in written form. You can write with it, and you'll be able to use it in spoken language and be able to do an interview with your parent. Let's continue. First of all, we have our words, was, were, wasn't, weren't. Please take note of the red difference, wasn't and weren't, NT on the end. This is short for was not or were not. The shortened form becomes wasn't or weren't. These are both negative forms, отрицание. First of all, was, were translates to был, была, была, in были in Russian. Wasn't and weren't translates to не был, не было, не было, не были. Okay, please forgive my pronunciation. All right, so just so you know, it's past simple tense, it's the verb to be. All right, let's look at this picture now. How was your test, sweetie? The questions were easy, Mom, but the answers were so difficult. Okay, please pay attention to was in the first part with mother speaking. How was your test? Because test is singular, it's only one. That's why it's was. The questions were easy. Were because questions are many, more than one. Okay? Множественное число. The answers were so difficult. Answers is also in plural, множественное число, so we use were here. Here is a small hint at the bottom of the screen about past simple when we use it. Past simple – действия, которые произошли в определенное время в прошлом. I was at the circus yesterday. Okay. Я вчера был в цирке. Когда я был в цирке вчера. Okay, so yesterday I was at the circus. When were you at the circus? Yesterday. We use was, were, and wasn't, weren't to talk about states, состояния, in the past. Let's continue. Here's a handy chart for all of you. Okay, this chart shows you the forms of was, were, and was not, and were not in long and short forms. If you're having trouble, please look at this chart. It will help you. Read along with me now. Утверждение. Affirmative. I was, you were, he was, she was, it was, we were, you were, and they were. Now, отрицание is the same as in утверждение, in affirmative, but we add not. I was not, you were not, he was not, she was not, it was not, we were not, you were not, they were not. Now, in spoken English, we don't usually use the long form. It's just kind of long and uncomfortable. I was not at school yesterday. It's much easier to say, I wasn't at school yesterday. We use full long forms when we want to put emphasis on something. Mother says to you, were you at school yesterday? I was at school yesterday. I was not at the park. So if we want to underscore, underline, подчеркивать, then we use the long form for emphasis. But in everyday speech, it's more comfortable to use the short forms. So please listen closely. I was not becomes I wasn't. You were not. You weren't. He was not. He wasn't. She was not. She wasn't. It was not. It wasn't. We were not. We weren't. You were not. You weren't. They were not. They weren't. Please, everybody, remember, was not is the same as wasn't, and were not is the same as weren't. One is just longer than the other. Let's continue. Here are some examples to help you. I was at the supermarket yesterday and bought apples. I wasn't at the library with my books. You were at the park yesterday and played football. You weren't at home asleep in bed. Now, please look at the pictures. Can you match the picture and the sentence together? Please pay attention to was and wasn't, were and weren't in the sentence in green and red, okay? Please pause the video now and please match the sentence with the picture. Go. Okay, now, I was at the supermarket yesterday and bought apples. Goes with this picture over here. I wasn't at the library with my books. Goes with the picture over here. You were at the park yesterday and played football. Goes with the picture over here. And you weren't at home asleep in bed. Goes with the picture down here. Please check your work now. As you know, practice makes perfect, so here's an exercise to help us practice what we've learned. Please write these sentences in your book and choose was or were. For a bonus, please try to make sentences also with negative, отрицание, with wasn't or weren't. So first, copy these sentences into your notebook, use was or were, choose the correct one. Then, for the bonus, if you do this and you send me a picture of it, I will give you an extra dojo point. Please choose 5 of these sentences and rewrite them with wasn't or weren't. Please stop the video right now and do this in your notebook. Pause the video and then we'll continue. Okay, so now we're going to check our answers. Here we go. Number 1, I was at my friend's house yesterday. Number 2, the girls were happy last week. Number 3, Grandma was at the supermarket 2 hours ago. Number 4, you were late for school yesterday. Number 5, Sam was tired last night. Number 6, Marek and Anna were bored last Saturday. Number 7, the dog was in the garden yesterday. Number 8, you and Ahmed were at school last Monday. Number 9, it was sunny last week. Number 10, we were at the cinema last night. Please check your answers. Okay, another practice exercise for you. Please look at the table I've provided to help you. You have 8 sentences here. Please write the 8 sentences in your notebook. Use the chart. Can you make the sentences? All right, open your notebook now. If it's not already open, it should be. Please write the sentences there. Pause the video and we'll go over them together and check them. Okay, so let's go over the sentences together. Number 1, Rob wasn't handsome. Number 2, Chloe and Eric were clever. Number 3, Eric and Mia weren't friendly. Number 4, Julia and Kate were pretty. Number 5, Chloe was pretty. Number 6, Rob was clever. Number 7, Kate wasn't clever. Number 8, Eric wasn't handsome. Okay, please check your answers. Later, let's see if you can translate these sentences in your free time. Later, not now. Translate the sentences in your notebook as well to help you with vocabulary. Let's continue. Now, this is our hardest task. Can you answer these questions? Please answer them in short form and long form using full sentences. Write and speak. Here's an example. Were you at the park yesterday? Yes, I was. I was at the park yesterday. Or you can use negative if it's not true for you. And you can say, no, I wasn't. I wasn't at the park yesterday. Okay, now it's your turn. All right, answer these questions for you. Were you at home yesterday? Were you at school yesterday? Were you outside yesterday? Were you happy yesterday? Were you hungry yesterday? Okay, answer the questions for you using the model on the left. Use the short answer and the long answer for each question. When you are finished, think of some questions, and now you have to ask mom or dad, okay? After this webinar, please make a video and put it on Class Dojo. This webinar is on Thursday, April 9th, so I will give you until Sunday to do this exercise, which is Sunday, April 12th, okay? By then, please post a video of you and your parent doing this exercise on Class Dojo in your portfolio. Okay? Okay, everybody, thank you so much for your attention. Thank you for being so attentive and so good during this webinar. I miss all of you a lot, and I can't wait to see you all back in school soon. All right? For this week, please make sure that you do the class task on Class Dojo, okay, for Sunday. Please create your video with your parents. Create an interview. Ask them questions using was and were, and they should ask you questions too. Make it fun. It's something you can do together. Okay, everybody. Have a nice day and goodbye. See you on Friday for our next webinar.